Beyoncé continues to use her platform and various huge appearances in order to raise awareness about the Black community and specifically Black Lives Matter, police brutality against the Black community. Well, she did the same during the VMAs, and her performance, of course, was awesome. You see some pictures of it right now. And, you know, there was a really strong message. Apparently, there were some backup dancers that were dressed as angels, and there was a lot of symbolism because the angels were then shot and killed, or looked like they were shot and killed. Let me be clear about that. And so that was,
they actually killed them. They're like, oh, I don't got to make it realistic.
Yeah, we got to really drive this point home. And so the whole point of that was to, you know, kind of show the severe situation that minorities are dealing with in the country right now. Well, of course, fast forward to a day later, and you have various pundits talking about how Beyoncé is terrible for doing this. And one of those people is Rudy Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani goes on Fox News, Fox and Friends to be specific, and he tries to make a point about how he's actually done more for the Black community than Beyoncé ever has. Take a look.
I want to talk to you about the war on cops. I want to get your opinion on this. Last night at the VMA Awards, Beyoncé, she walks the red carpet with the mothers of Black men that were killed by police. In this performance that you see here, her dancers were circling around her, and one by one they fell to the ground, and there were red lights underneath them, and that was supposed to symbolize Black cops killing, killing Black individuals.
Yeah, you know, you're asking the wrong person, because I had 5 uncles who were police officers, 2 cousins who were, and 1 who died in the line of duty. I ran the largest and best police department in the world, the New York City Police Department. And I saved more Black lives than any of those people you saw on stage by reducing crime, and particularly homicide, by 75%.
So does that offend you?
Of which maybe 4,000 or 5,000 were African-American young people who are alive today because of the policies I put in effect that weren't in effect for 35 years.
So that's what Rudy Giuliani does, right? And look, to be fair to him, when he was mayor, crime did drop, but it was actually a continuing trend. So if you look at the years prior to him getting elected as mayor, crime was already decreasing. And so he can take some credit, but he likes to take all the credit. And so we're going to get into numbers just to prove what I'm saying in just a second. But
yeah, look, there's a couple of things here. First of all, they have all these crocodile tears whenever African Americans say, hey, can you stop shooting us? And they say, oh my God, how could you do this to the cops? It's a war on cops. That's the crocodile tears. Now, they're obsessed with wars. It's a war on drugs. It's a war on Christmas. You can tell how absurd their wars are and all this stuff. No, nobody's saying let's go get the cops. What everybody is saying is let's reform the system so that good people who go in don't get corrupted by the system or the training so that they shoot too quickly or they shoot minorities too quickly because of the prejudices that's in all of society. Nobody's saying that the cops are particularly evil and they're out to destroy Black people, and so let's now have a war on them. And there's, outside of a couple of lunatics, there's no one who believes there should be a war on cops except the people at Fox News channel who want to label it that way to start wars.
Right, that's actually a really great way of putting it. And when you think about any other profession, every profession faces some sort of criticism because of some wrongdoing by some members of that profession. So, for instance, we have a huge opioid epidemic, right? We have people who are addicted to painkillers or addicted to heroin when they can't get their hands on painkillers. And part of the problem is that painkillers are overprescribed. Does that mean that there's a war on doctors if you bring that up, right? No one says that. Same could be said of journalists. There are journalists out there, people posing as journalists, that do really terrible work, right? And so do I, as a member of the media, okay, do I sit back and think, oh my God, there's a war on members of the media? No, some people aren't doing their jobs responsibly, or there's an issue in the training. Whatever it is, there needs to be a solution. That doesn't mean that people are sitting back and saying, oh my God, all these cops are terrible, war on cops. No one is saying that other than Fox News. So that's a good point.
Okay, and Giuliani's obsessed with Beyoncé.
Yeah.
Whenever Beyoncé does any performance, he's out there like, I've been watching Beyoncé over and over and over again, just to be sure. And I'm telling you, after I reached conclusions, the conclusion I came to was that she is against cops. And that's why I can't stand her. That's why I'm going to go back later and watch her again and again until I'm done again, okay? And so, yeah, I got it. She's an entertainer who's powerful because she has wide reach and wide audience, and that drives you crazy, among other reasons why you're obsessed with her. Okay? Because they're thinking, no, you don't get to control the message. We control the message. So since they do propaganda, they assume everyone else does propaganda. Whereas Beyoncé is doing what she is paid to do, which is write songs, perform them, and yes, songs have a message. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, you just want them to be like Roses are red and violets are blue? Those songs have had a message forever. And when it's songs you like country music and about kicking your dog or whatever, you love those songs and their message, right? Oh yeah, Sweet Home Alabama, right? But when it's a song you don't like, oh, I can't believe they put a message in a song. Yes, they did. And it's a very simple message. Stop killing unarmed African Americans. Not that controversial.
You can get the full 2-hour show commercial-free by becoming a member. tytnetwork.com/join.